It is a cold night out here tonight. It is going to be a little bit breezy, but the temperatures will fall into the 30s, and it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be hard to hold on to the football. And as you see, and the teams take the field. Central will be receiving off to the left. They're going to have Daniel Marler and DJ Buchanan back to field. They're wearing red pants, navy jerseys, red helmets, and they're off to your left. And Fredericktown will be kicking from the right to the left in white jerseys, black helmets, black pants. And this opening kickoff brought to you by Bill Bass Insurance, your American Family Insurance agent in Park Hills, committed to making the big play for their customers. And football is underway on this Wednesday evening. Kick is up. It's end over end. It's going to be fielded at the left hash mark at about the 20. He's going to cut back upfield, stays on his feet after making one-man miss, cuts it back around. He's up to the left side of the field. He's still on his feet. He's going to be brought down right at about midfield. About a 25-yard return to open up this game for the Central Rebels, and they're going to start with fantastic field possession. They're going to be right on the 48-yard line to start this game. They're going to be on their own 48-yard line, but not too far from midfield and not too far from Black Cat territory. And Hunter Curtoy's headed out to the huddle. He's going to be your quarterback for the Central Rebels tonight. And we're only 11:47 into this game, 13 seconds into a Wednesday night of second-round district playoffs, and it's all on J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com, and we're powered by Big River Broadband. Curtois went out into the huddle. Now he's going to line up under center with DJ Buchanan as the deep man in the backfield. No receivers out to either side. Pitch does go to Buchanan off the right-hand side, and he is going to cross midfield, and it looks like he gained 4 on the play for DJ Buchanan. And the first play of the day, right? A pitch off to the right-hand side for DJ Buchanan moves Central into Fredericktown territory. I want to thank our sponsors tonight for putting us into this booth and making this web TV broadcast possible. Midwest Sports Center in Farmington, Powell Automotive in Park Hills, and Leadbelt Pump and Supply also in Park Hills. And Central's offense set for the second down. Curtois bends under center. He's going to have DJ Buchanan as the deep man in the backfield. Fake the handoff to Buchanan, and it goes to number 40 for the Central Rebels, and that's Drew Harlow. And it does look like they're going to be awarded a first down. He gets down to the 40. And that's a gain of 7 for Harlow. So 2 plays for Central, 1 first down, and 2 different running backs. They're going to go back to the same formation, run a jumbo formation. You'll see that most of the night. Curtois going to go back under center. He's going to have 3 men in the backfield, Harlow, Marler, and Buchanan. Buchanan the deep back. Here's the handoff. The handoff goes to Marler off the left-hand side. He follows a left guard for a few yards before being met by a plethora of Fredericktown Black Cats, and a flag does come out late after the scrum is cleared, and a second flag is going to fall in. And we'll wait and see what the officials are going to say about this one. You can see them conferencing there at midfield. And here's your call. It is going to be, the penalties will cancel out. There was a penalty against Fredericktown as well as a penalty against the Central Rebels, and those 2 penalties will offset. Therefore, no change of yardage for the Central Rebels, as both penalties will offset, and that will set up a first down and 10. Ball sits on the 40-yard line. Curtois going to go back under center. He's going to have 3 men in the backfield once again. This time, new man in the backfield, Reed Lucas, along with Drew Harlow and DJ Buchanan. Reed Lucas, a load at the linebacker position. It'll be interesting to see if he's utilized as a blocker or if he'll get the ball from the Central Rebels. Curtois takes the snap, and the handoff does go to DJ Buchanan. He's going to get some room. He's cutting off to the right-hand side, breaks the tackle, makes a man miss. Touchdown Central. It's 6-0. They're on the board early. Oh, buddy, DJ Buchanan rattled off a 40-yard touchdown run, and that's 6-0 Central. 2 carries, 44 yards. DJ Buchanan finds the end zone. That's 6-0 as the extra point unit will come on for the Central Rebels and see if they can add another one for the PAT. DJ Buchanan, the sophomore. From what I understand, he likes to call himself Swervo, and he just swervoed right around the lone tackler at the 30-yard line, found his room on the right hash marks, and he's in the end zone, and it's a 6-0 ball game as the extra point team comes on, and it's going to be Jake Bridges, the kicker, with Braden Mannion, the holder for the Central Rebels. Looking to make it a 7-0 ball game here in the first quarter. The kick is up, and the kick is good. That's a 7-0 ball game. We're here at Central High School, and the Rebels They're up 7-0. While we have a quick timeout, we'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds on J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
When you need to install a garage door, Premier Door Company of Fredericktown is willing and ready. Or if you just need to repair an existing door, Premier Door Company will do that too. They can install or repair garage doors for residential or commercial buildings. Premier Door Company will put in electric openers, spring replacements, and service or repair all doors in all surrounding counties. For quality and experience in installing and repairing garage doors, call Premier Door Company, the garage door people, at 783-7775 or www.premierdoorcompany.com.
And we're back. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We're at Central High School watching the Rebels take on the Fredericktown Black Hats, and it's a 7-0 ball game. Central on the board early after a 40-yard touchdown run by a sophomore, DJ Buchanan, and the extra point went up and through, and now it's a 7-0 ball game. And Fredericktown's special teams unit's going to come on to field this one. Back to take the kick will be Chris Harwood and Reed Roberts. Roberts is the one you see on the far right, and Harwood closest to you as you see it on MyMoInfo Web TV for J98. Central is going to be back to the left there to kick from left to right as you see it on your screen, and it's going to be Jake Bridges set to kick off for the Central Rebels, and they're up 7-0. 10:30 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 7-0 lead for the Rebels. Here comes your kick, and it's up. It's end over end. It's a good kick. It looks like it's headed towards the sideline, and it's touched by Harwood. He has problems with it, fields it at the 2-yard line, cuts back to the right, and he's going to be brought down right at about the 5-yard line after making one man miss. And that's bad field position to start this game, and Central's defense going to get a chance to come back out onto the field. If you're just joining us, the defensive line for the Central Rebels is 75 Colin Best, 70 Justin McWilliams, 72 Joe Mitchell, and 55 Brandon Mayberry on the outside edge. Mayberry comes into this game with 14 sacks on the season. He's 6'2", 185, so he's going to come off with some speed off the defensive line, and that's how he's getting to the quarterbacks in the backfield. To accompany that, on the other side of the ball, 75 Colin Best comes in at 6'5", 210 pounds, and 13 sacks on the game. Fredericktown's offense lined up. Drake Spangler is going to be under center. He's going to have two receivers off to the left side. One man goes in motion from left to right, takes the handoff in the backfield, and he's going to be stopped with no gain on the play. The ball carrier on the play was Patrick Smothers, one of the two receivers that you'll see tonight for the Fredericktown Black Hats. Went in motion from left to right. No gain on the play. He was stopped early, was Patrick Smothers. And that's going to set up a second down and 10 yards to go for the Fredericktown Black Cats. And they're pinned back with the ball on the 7-yard line. Spangler back under center, two receivers off to the left, Harwood and Reed. He sends Roberts in motion. The handoff goes straight up the middle. And it doesn't look like there was much of a gain on the play, if any at all. Maybe a yard awarded. And that's going to set up a third down and long on the 7-yard line for the Fredericktown Black Cats. They're already down 7-0. They don't want to fall behind early like this and be forced into a situation where they have to pass, being a run-first team with the two backs coming out of the backfield, Roberts and Carver. And this is a big third down for Fredericktown right now. They are going to line up with two receivers off to the right-hand side. Spangler's going to go under center. He's going to have Carver and Roberts in the backfield. Carver at halfback, Roberts in the fullback. Roberts takes the handoff off to the left side, and he's met by Central Rebels everywhere, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard on the play for Reed Roberts, and that's a quick 3-and-out for the Fredericktown offense. And special teams units are going to come out onto the field, as Fredericktown's going to have to punt this one out of their own end zone, with Braden Mannion standing on the 44-yard line set to field this punt as he backpedals to the 45. And back to kick for Fredericktown is number 28, Reed Roberts. He takes the snap, gets the kick away cleanly, and Mannion's going to have room to field this, and he sure does. He grabs it at the 45-yard line, makes one man miss, cuts off to the left-hand side, and he gets tripped up, and he's going to be brought down right at the 25-yard line, and Central is going to start this drive on the 25-yard line of Fredericktown. They're up 7-0, 8:17 to go still in the first quarter, and the Central offense is going to get back out on the field with great field position to start this one. Our sponsors, Goggins Drilling in Park Hills and Covenant Care Service in Fredericktown, we thank you for making this web TV broadcast possible and allowing us to broadcast round 2 of the district playoffs for all of our listeners. Central's offense is going to come back up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to stay in the jumbo formation. Courtois going to bend under center. DJ Buchanan the deep back with Harlow straight behind Courtois. The handoff goes to Buchanan. He spins off, makes one man miss, and he's going to get about 8 yards on the play for DJ Buchanan. He's already racking up the yards early in this contest as Central is up 7-0 after a 40-yard DJ Buchanan touchdown run with under 2 minutes played in the first quarter. And Central is up and in great field position right now. There are 2nd down and 3 yards to go for a first down. 7:49 to go here in the first quarter. And Central already back into the red zone once again. Going to line up in a jumbo formation, a 3-set backfield. And it's going to go right up the middle and right to, it looks like they did get a first down on the play. And it was Daniel Marler on the carry. And they will move the chains, and that's going to set up another first down for the Central Rebels. It's going to be first down with the ball on the 10-yard line. First down and goal to go. I don't think there's any room, maybe an inch or two for a first down as they line up in the jumbo formation with DJ Buchanan as the deep man in the backfield. And it looks like Harlow up the middle for a few yards. Drew Harlow and DJ Buchanan getting the bulk of the carries to start this game. And not one rush has been under 4 yards so far for the Central Rebels. The offensive line getting a great push for the Rebels so far. And that offensive line anchored by Russell Harrington, Jordan Elser, David Dooley, Justin McWilliams, and Colin Bess. They're really getting the job done so far in this game as Central is going to line up on the 5-yard line, 2nd down. They're going to stay in the jumbo formation with 3 men in the backfield. Marler, Buchanan, the deep back. And the handoff goes to Harwood, straight forward off the right side. He got another 2 yards on the play. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 3 yards to go for the Central Rebels after a short gain for Harlow. And that's going to set up short yardage to the end zone on a 3rd down for the Central Rebels. See if that offensive line can't get a push. That's the first time they've been held under 4 yards per carry in this game. That was a 3-yard carry from Harlow. And that's going to line them up to the right hash mark. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. 6:14 remaining here in the first quarter as Central lines up in the jumbo formation. The handoff goes to Buchanan off the left-hand side. He dives into the end zone. I think he's going to come up just short. It looks like they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. A 2-yard gain for DJ Buchanan. Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but it's going to set up a 4th and 1 with the ball sitting on the 1-yard line. And Reed Lucas going to come into the huddle for the Central offense as Hunter Courtois comes in with the play. And Fredericktown backed up. They're in a really tight spot right now. Already down 1 score. It's a 7-0 ball game. Central on top. 5:37 to go here in the first quarter as Central's offense stays in the jumbo formation. Going to have Harlow straight behind Courtois. DJ Buchanan is the deep man. Buchanan takes the handoff, falls into the end zone, and that's a touchdown. DJ Buchanan, his 2nd on the day. A 1-yard touchdown run. And Buchanan finds the end zone one more time, and that makes it 13-0. Central up over the Fredericktown Black Hats. Special teams will come out on the field for both teams, and Central is going to try and knock another one through. Jake Bridges out to kick. Mannion the holder. And Central's run game really going in the first quarter. That's 2 scores by DJ Buchanan and 5:27 to play here in the first. Here's your kick. It is up, and the kick is good. That's a 14-0 ball game here at Central High School, and the Central Rebels are all over the Fredericktown Black Hats. Early in this one, it's a 14-0 lead. As the special teams units come on, we'll take a quick timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. It's J98 Web TV, MIMOinfo.com.
Walmart Supercenter of Deloge is a great place to get everything you need for the upcoming holiday season. They stock it all and at prices your family can afford. In fact, shop each department: clothing and accessories, bakery and deli, hardware and housewares, photo lab and electronics, and a whole lot more. And remember, all your snacks for the football games. Happy holidays from Walmart Supercenter in Deloge. Save money, live better, Walmart.
J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com here at Central High School, I should say. The Central Rebels up 14-0 over the Fredericktown Black Hats in round 2 of the district playoffs. And so far it's been DJ Buchanan to find the end zone for the Central Rebels on 2 occasions so far. And it's a 14-0 ball game as both extra points have been up and through, no problem for Jake Bridges. And that sets us up for this kickoff as Central's going to line up to kick from left to right as you see it on your screen, and they're up on this one 14-0 thanks to DJ Buchanan finding the end zone on 2 separate occasions. Fredericktown started their last offensive possession on the 4-yard line. We'll see if they can't get better field position after this kick. Jake Bridges has a booming kick off the tee, and he's going to look to do just the same on this kick. Here is your kick. And it's looking like it's going to bounce out of bounds, and it sure does. A flag will come out, and that's going to start Fredericktown with much better field position on this offensive possession than what they had their last drive. After being pinned back on their own 4-yard line and being forced into a quick 3-and-out. Much better field position to start this one. That should start them right at the 35-yard line after the kick went out of bounds. And that's going to give Fredericktown much better field position. 31 yards improved thanks to a kick out of bounds. Jake Bridges kicked off and it went out of the right hash mark and bounced out of bounds. Good play from Fredericktown special teams to watch it bounce out of bounds rather than fielding it, and probably starting about the 20. The offense for Fredericktown back out on the field. Spengler back under center, 2 men in the backfield, 1 receiver off to the right. The pitch goes to Roberts off the right side, and he's going to get a few yards, about 4 or 5 on the play. He's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that's a 5-yard gain for Reed Roberts. That'll set up a second down, 5 yards to go for the Fredericktown Blackcats, looking to get their first down of the game after being forced into a 3-and-out on the opening possession. So far, Central's 2 offensive possessions are 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns, and it looks like Fredericktown going to spread the formation out. They're going to have Tyler Reed off to the left side, and Spengler's going to roll out to his left, and he drops the football, and it looks like Central's going to fall on it. We'll see what the referee comes up with. And he's pointing like Fredericktown has recovered. It looks like Fredericktown fell on the ball. And it looks like the cold weather is causing a problem for Drake Spengler, the quarterback for the Fredericktown Blackcats. He reeled back to throw it, and right when he hit that Statue of Liberty pose, it flew right behind him. You got to wonder if the temperature, making the pigskin not so tacky, is going to have a little bit of an issue for him tonight. He's going to lose a big chunk of yards on that play. He lost 8 yards on that play, 8 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So it was a total of 15 yards that he actually lost. As he went back to throw it, ball just slipped out of his hands. He's going to try and save face on this 3rd and 18, 4:31 to go here in the first quarter. They're going to line up with 2 receivers off to the right side. Man in motion is Reed Roberts, and there's a whistle that comes in and a flag from the far sideline as Laundry hits the grass. And it's going to be illegal motion against the Fredericktown Blackcats, and that's going to back them up 5 more. That's going to set 3rd and 23. They're backed up to the 22-yard line, and for a first down, they have to get to the 45. So that's going to set up a really tough situation for Drake Spengler. He's going to be forced to throw on this down. They are going to have 2 receivers, Smothers and Reed, off to the right-hand side. Roberts and Carver behind Spengler. Spengler under center. Roberts goes in motion off to the right side. Spengler's going to drop back. He's going to throw. He's throwing deep. We'll see. And it's going to be intercepted off the left sideline. Kyle Schwantner intercepted that one. The 5'9", 160-pound junior picks that ball up at the 35-yard line. And Central's offense going to have another offensive drive start in Fredericktown territory. It looks like they're going to spot this ball on the 35-yard line, and that's where Central's offense will come back out onto the field. And that's more problems for the Fredericktown defense. They haven't, other than the very first drive starting on the Central 48, it's been bad news for the Fredericktown defense being pinned in their own zone. Kurtoy's going to go under center, going to have jumbo formation, 3 men in the backfield. Pitch goes to Buchanan. He comes right to the line of scrimmage, and he's stopped. He lost 1 on the play. The Fredericktown defensive line getting a good push right there, stopping DJ Buchanan from getting any further than the line of scrimmage. And he did lose 1 on the play as they spot the ball at the 36-yard line. 2nd down and 11 for Central. Central's offense doesn't pass the ball much, but You don't need to if your run game has been as effective as it has so far in this game. That's the first time Fredericktown stopped them and for a loss. They're going to run the same formation as Central. The handoff is fake to Buchanan. The throw over the top, and it is caught, and that's going to walk right into the end zone. Touchdown Central. A pass right over the top caught by Austin Caldwell, the tight end, and he is into the end zone. A 36-yard touchdown pass from Curtois to Austin Caldwell. And that's a 20-0 ball game. Central all over Fredericktown right now. Jake Bridges is going to come on, try to make this a 21-point ball game. And Caldwell, a 36-yard touchdown reception. And it was set up by a fantastic play fake that the run game is set up for the Central offense, and that just allowed the play action pass to set up. And they're going to fake the extra point, and Mannion's going to roll off to the right side. He's going to throw to the end zone, and a flag comes in, but the extra point, the two-point conversion is good. We'll see what the official says. It's holding against Central. That'll nullify that two-point conversion. And Curtois so far today, 1 for 1, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Not a bad way to start your day for Hunter Curtois. A 36-yard touchdown pass to Austin Caldwell, who was absolutely wide open, and that was all because of the play action for the Central Rebels. The play action only works because DJ Buchanan has been so effective so far in this game. After the 5-yard penalty on the two-point conversion, that's going to back Central up, and it looks like they are going to go ahead and kick this extra point. Jake Bridges going to get a chance to show off his leg a little bit as he's going to be kicking from the 20-yard line. There's the snap, and your kick is up. And the kick is up and through. That's a 21-0 ball game. The Central Rebels up 3 scores with 3:19 to go here in the first quarter. We'll take some time to thank our sponsors: Buckley Towing in Park Hills, America's Mattress and Recliners in Farmington, Rand Auto Sales in Farmington and Park Hills, and Andy's Garage in Park Hills. Thank you for making this web TV broadcast possible. While we await, oh, they're already back out on the field. So the pace of this game's picking up as we go. Central's trying to wear out the Fredericktown special teams, defense and offense, the way they're moving the ball tonight. And special teams units already back out on the field. Jake Bridges lined up to kick this one from the 40-yard line. His last kick went out of bounds to the right. And we'll see if he can adjust and keep this one in play. That kick out of bounds on their last kickoff allowed Fredericktown to start their offensive possession on the 35-yard line, but it was didn't go as planned for Fredericktown. They ended up in a third down and 23. Drake Spengler forced a throw off to the right side and was intercepted by the Central defense. Jake Bridges set to kick, and here's your kick. We'll see if he can keep it in bounds, and he squibs this one right to the middle, and it's going to be recovered at the 49-yard line, the Fredericktown 49-yard line. And it was number 65 for the Fredericktown Black Cats, Seth Fireball, that fell on it. He's the center, and he's the lone anchor for this Fredericktown offensive line. Shannon Henson, the coach of Fredericktown, likes to mix up his offensive line from game to game, see if he can't get things working a little more efficiently. But Seth Fireball has not moved from his center position this season. And it's going to be Fredericktown lined up, and they are going to send Smothers off to the left side, and it is going to be Carver and Roberts in the backfield, as Roberts is the deep man. And this is the best starting field position for the Fredericktown Black Cats tonight. They're going to start on the their own 49-yard line after an attempted onside kick by the Central Rebels was recovered by Seth Fireball, the Fredericktown Black Cat. And Fredericktown is going to line up with just Patrick Smothers as the lone receiver off to the left. The handoff is tossed to Reed Roberts. Reed Roberts gets across the line of scrimmage for a gain of 3 yards, and that'll be 2nd down and 7 for Fredericktown. So far in their offensive possessions, they've had a few problems moving the ball forward. Once they've moved the ball quite well on first down, actually getting a good chunk of yards on each offensive possession. But then after that, it kind of moves backwards as the Central defense clamps down. And they're going to stay bunched up in a bunch formation. Going to have Harwood out to the left side, Carver and then Roberts in the backfield behind Spangler. Roberts goes in motion out to the left side. The handoff is to Carver up the middle, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Caleb Carver. Caleb Carver being held to 0 yards so far in this game. And the Central defense really showing why exactly they're so good. They only allow 2.7 points per game. They allow less than a field goal per game. And they're showing why they're so good so far tonight. Fredericktown's going to send 2 receivers off to the left. It's going to be Reed and then Smothers at the slot. Carver and Roberts in the backfield respectively. Handoff is fake to Roberts. Spangler's going to throw off to the left side. And it looks like it was picked off once again. And it sure enough is. Interception by the Central Rebels. This time Kyle Schwantner coming up with the interception. That's 2 for Schwantner so far on the day. That's his 2nd interception so far today. And Drake Spangler, another INT. So far he's got 2 interceptions in this game, and that's going to give Central fantastic field position. And they're going to start this one on their own 48-yard line as they're going to stay in the jumbo formation. And Curtois is going to go under center. He's going to have 3 men in the backfield. It looks like Harwood and DJ Buchanan as the deep man. The handoff is to, I didn't see who it was to, but he was stopped in the backfield by the Fredericktown Black Cats. And it was number 30, Daniel Marler, that carried that one. Marler tried to follow his right guard through the hole, but the hole was closed up by the Fredericktown defense. A good push by that defensive line. It was Dakota Dowd and Ryan Morgan for the Fredericktown Black Cats getting a push on that front line. Central's going to stay in the bunch formation. They're going to go jumbo with 3 men in the backfield. The handoff goes right up the middle. Flag comes in right as the whistle is blown, and that's a legal procedure against Central. They'll be moving backwards 5 yards. And that's going to set them back behind the original line of scrimmage. And Fredericktown's defense in a good situation early in this game after falling behind 3 scores. There's 1:21 to go in the first quarter, and Fredericktown's defense getting the first push they've had in this game against the Central offensive line. Central's going to send receivers out on this play. 4 receivers, 3 out to the left side, a trip to the left. Single receiver off to the right is Jake Bridges. Curtois coming out of shotgun, and he's going to roll, and he's going to throw off to the right side. It's almost caught by Daniel Marler. Hits off his hands, bounce up, not able to reel it in. He would have reeled that in at the 35-yard line, had 1 step on the coverage, but just couldn't hold on to that one. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 15 yards to go as the ball sits on the 39-yard line. We're under 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Central's up on the Fredericktown Black Cats 21-0 so far in this contest, and the offense has been pretty effective for the Central Rebels. Central's going to stay in that same formation, trips off to the left side. Jake Bridges, the lone receiver off to the right. DJ Buchanan, the lone man in the backfield. The throw goes off to the left-hand side, and Fredericktown's all over this one, nearly intercepted. Curtois, 2 incompletions in a row. 1 should have been reeled in, but was not. It was Daniel Marler that had the pass hit off his hands at the 35-yard line. Just couldn't reel it in. It would have given Central a 1st down. But now they're forced into their first 4th down and long situation of the game. Jake Bridges back to punt for the Central special teams, and back to field it for Fredericktown is number 40, and it's number 10, Smothers. And the kick is going to bounce, take a Central bounce all the way down to the 20-yard line. It looks like it rolled to the 19, and that's where Fredericktown's offense is going to take control after forcing the first punt by the Central, forcing Central to punt for the first time in this game. 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's a 21-0 lead for the Central Rebels as DJ Buchanan's found the end zone twice, and then a pass to Austin Caldwell from Hunter Curtois went 36 yards, and they found the end zone. A pass set up on the play action. I want to thank our sponsors, Nash Automotive in Park Hills, Premier Door Company in Fredericktown, and Walmart Supercenter in Farmington for making this web TV broadcast possible. Fredericktown's offense back out on the field. They're going to line up with 1 receiver on the far edges on either side. As you can see them, they line up like statues. And the handoff is going to go to Roberts off to the right side. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not much for the run game so far for the Fredericktown Black Cats as the Central defense has just clamped down. At this rate, if they allow 2.7 points in this game, that's a good mark for Fredericktown. They really have to get their offense going now. If they get pushed back into any further hole, they're going to be forced to throw all game, and that's just not how this Fredericktown offense works. They're going to line up with one receiver off to the right side. The pitch goes to Reed Roberts off the right-hand side. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he goes out right around the line of scrimmage. A gain of 1 for Reed Roberts on the play. That's going to be a conclusion of our first quarter, and while the two teams switch sides, we'll take a quick 60-second timeout. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
Kerry Buckley Towing and Recovery in Park Hills at 431-2117 or 756-4563 offers 24-hour towing and wrecker service. Kerry Buckley and his employees pride themselves on providing quick and reliable towing, winching, lockouts, jump starts, and roadside service for cars and trucks, as well as towing and wreck recovery for tractor trailers. From big to small, Kerry Buckley Towing and Recovery does it all. Call 431-2117 or 756-4563 for dependable 24-hour service from Kerry Buckley Towing.
Your car always seems to break down at the worst possible time. When you're broke down, give Henry Nash of Nash Automotive in Park Hills a call at 431-1299. He'll give you a free estimate so you'll know what to expect. Nash Automotive offers all basic mechanical work, including tune-ups, work on motors, and four-wheel drives. If your car is broken, call Henry Nash and Nash Automotive at 431-1299 on South Front Street in Park Hills next to Casey's.
And we're back. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We're at Central High School as the Rebels are up on the Fredericktown Black Cats right now, 21-0, awaiting the start of the second quarter. And Fredericktown's offense has really been shut down so far by this Central defense. The run game has not been able to get going so far for the Fredericktown Black Cats. They're being forced to resort to the passing game, and they're lining up in a spread formation with trips off to the left side, one receiver off to the right. Spengler's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to come up and throw. He's got one man. It is Patrick Smothers. We'll see if he's going to be caught. If it is going to be caught, we'll see what the referee signals. And it looks like they are going to mark it. That is a reception, a 7-yard reception for Patrick Smothers from Drake Spengler. Smothers' first catch of the day, a 7-yard reception. Drake Spengler, so far that is his third pass of the day. The first time he's completed one to Patrick Smothers, his first complete pass of the day. That's going to set up 4th and 4. Fredericktown's going to be forced to punt. They're punting deep in their own zone. A high snap. It is fielded cleanly by Roberts. He puts a boot into this one. It's fielded by Daniel Marler at the 40-yard line. He's going to cut to his left. He's got one man to beat, and he beat him. He's got another man to beat. Oh, and he's brought down right at the 40-yard line. After returning that one 20 yards, once again, the Central offense will start their offensive possession in Fredericktown Black Cat territory. The Central defense is really clamping down on the Fredericktown Black Cats. One thing that helps for the Central offense and defense, a lot of teams may play 5, 6, 7 kids on either side of the ball. Central really doesn't do that. They only have 1 or 2 kids that really play both sides of the ball on a regular basis. Looks like Central is going to line up in a jumbo formation. They're going to have Harlow, Marler, and Buchanan in the back. And a flag comes in. A whistle comes in right as the snap. And we'll see what the call is going to be as the referee lines up. And it's going to be encroachment on the Fredericktown defense. And that's one mental mistake that you really can't have right now if you're Fredericktown. You're already in a tough situation with this run game for Central being quite efficient so far in the game. We're through one quarter, and the run game is really put life into the Central offense, allowing play-action passes to set up, and that's how they got their most recent score. It was a 36-yard touchdown pass to Austin Caldwell from Curtois, and it looks like they're going to line up in the same formation. It is going to be Harlow, Marler, and Buchanan in the back, and Marler takes the handoff, and he gets tripped up at the second line of defense. A good gain for Daniel Marler. Brock O'Neill on the stop for the Fredericktown Black Cats. Brock O'Neill coming up with a big tackle. And the ball is going to move up and get a fresh set of downs after a big run by Daniel Marler. Central's offense going to stay in that jumbo formation. They're going to line up with Marler and Harlow as the halfbacks, and the fullback is going to be lined up as DJ Buchanan. Marler takes the handoff, follows his left guard, number 75, Colin Best, 6'5", 210-pound offensive lineman, creates a small hole for Marler, but it closed up before he could actually get to it and make something of it. Second down for the Central Rebels. And the run game's really keeping this offense moving so far. They're going to stay in that jumbo formation. Buchanan's the deep man in the backfield. The handoff goes to the fullback, Marler, and it was a read option, and Courtois pulled it out at the last second, and he runs off to the left side, just short of getting a first down, a 5-yard gain on the play for Courtois. Courtois getting in on the rushing game tonight. So far, that's 3 different men carrying the ball out of the backfield for the Central Rebels. It would be 4, but the one play for Harlow was called back on a penalty. Central, as you can see them lined up in that same formation. Buchanan, the deep man in the backfield, takes the handoff, and he's going to be met right off the right tackle. And I don't think he got the first down, just short of it. 2 yards on the play for DJ Buchanan. There's 9:35 to go here in the first half. And they are going to say it was a first down. They are going to award him that first down, and that's a fresh set of downs. And they are going to move even further into Fredericktown territory. Central's run game really showing why they're a big part of this offense. Fredericktown deep in their own zone once again. Ball on the 13. They are in red zone territory. Central's going to stay in the jumbo formation. Handoff is fake to Buchanan on the end around, and it's Marler coming around the outside edge, and he beats his man. Touchdown, Daniel Marler. And that's 27-0 Central all over Fredericktown right now. A 13-yard touchdown run by Daniel Marler. And Daniel Marler finds his way into the end zone for the first time in this game. And that's 3 rushing touchdowns for the Central Rebels so far in this contest. They have 1 touchdown through the air, a 36-yard pass to Austin Caldwell. And that's 27-0 Central all over Fredericktown. Special teams on to make this a 28-point ball game. Jake Bridges set to kick, and he takes a direct snap, does Jake Bridges. He's got 3 receivers rolling out to the left side. He throws a pass over the top, incomplete. It's a 27-0 ball game. Central up 4 scores with 9:15 to go in the second half. As the 2 teams switch fields, we'll take a quick timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
Dwight Harrington of Leadbelt Pump and Supply has been serving St. Francis and the surrounding counties for several decades. Leadbelt Pump and Supply can provide you with free estimates on well drilling and pump installation today. In addition, they also do repairs and service work, and they provide trenching and electric services. For your entire pump supply needs and more, stop in Leadbelt Pump and Supply on East Elvin Street in Park Hills, or call 431-2476.
And we're back. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. And the Central Rebels up 27-0, 9:15 to go here in the first half. And there's already 3 touchdowns on the ground for the Central Rebels and 1 through the air. And that puts us up at this kickoff, as Central, you'll see, is kicking from the right to the left. They're in the red pants, navy jerseys, and red helmets, and Fredericktown lined up to receive to the left. And they're in black helmets, white jerseys, black pants. And you can tell, if you look off to the left at the 2 men set to receive this kickoff, you can tell the Colts making them think about it. And Roberts does not field the kickoff cleanly. He recovers it at the 10-yard line, and he's going to be stopped deep in his own zone. And that's bad fielding, starting field position for the Fredericktown Blackcats once again. They've only had 1 time where they started remotely close to Central territory, and Central has had 3 of their 5 drives start in Fredericktown territory. This time, Fredericktown's going to be pinned back into their own zone. And it looks like it's lined up on the 14-yard line on the far left hash mark as you see it on your screen. And two receivers going to go out to Spengler's right. It's going to be Carver and Roberts in the backfield behind Spengler. Tyler Reed and Patrick Smothers as the two receivers. The handoff goes to Roberts on a pitch, and he's met by Central Rebels in the backfield. Reed Roberts is really being shut down by this Central defense tonight. So far, 10 yards, 5 carries for Reed Roberts. 8:47 to go here in the first half. It's going to be second down, 11 yards to go as the ball sits on the Fredericktown 8-yard line. Their offense pinned back in their own zone pretty deep once again. The last time they were forced to punt out of their own end zone. We'll see if they can get out of the shadow of their own goalpost this time. And Fredericktown's going to have two receivers far out to the left side, Reed and Smothers, Carver and Roberts in the backfield. And the handoff is going to go right behind the left guard to Caleb Carver. And there's not much on that play for Carver as the Central defensive line getting a great push. And that defensive line, Colin Bess, Justin McWilliams, Joe Mitchell, and Brandon Mayberry getting a great push, stopping this run game. And that's going to be third down and 8 for the Fredericktown offense. Central's defense trying to force a 3-and-out once again of this Fredericktown offense. They've really had problems getting their offense going against the Central defense. But Central only allows 2.7 points per game, and they're exactly showing you why. And that's a timeout, Fredericktown. I want to thank a couple of our sponsors, Huck Chiropractic in Deloge and Walmart Supercenter, also in Deloge. Why we have a quick timeout, we'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back. It's J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
Covenant Care Services is your locally owned in-home care provider that offers personal care services and private duty nursing service for pediatrics and seniors. With offices in Fredericktown, Poplar Bluff, Salem, St. Genevieve, and Cape Girardeau, Covenant Care serves 29 southeast Missouri counties. For more information on Covenant Care Service, you can call 783-6256 or 866-783-6256. Covenant Care Services, caring is their promise to you.
It's J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com. Fredericktown pinned back into their own zone, a third down and 8. The pitch is going to go straight backwards, and it was Brock O'Neill, and he's going to be brought down, and the ball comes out, and it looks like the Central defense falls on it, and they're going to start this on their own 10-yard line, on the Fredericktown 10-yard line after a fumble by Brock O'Neill. That's the third turnover by the Fredericktown offense. And Central is going to start this drive on the 10-yard line. They're up 27-0 in the first half, and they're knocking on the door already, and that's where they're going to start, is on the 10-yard line. Central's going to jumbo formation, and it looks like they're going to have Harlow and Buchanan in the backfield, accompanied by Logan Comfort. Curtois bends under center, calls out to his offensive line left and right, takes the snap, and it is going to go to DJ Buchanan. Buchanan's going to be stopped after a short gain on the play. DJ Buchanan, 2 yards. And Fredericktown already in trouble on this drive. A fumble by Brock O'Neill on the 10-yard line was recovered by the Central Rebels. And Central has a great run game, and they've been awarded fantastic field position by this Fredericktown offense, giving them the third turnover so far in this game. And Central's going to line up in the jumbo formation with DJ Buchanan as the deep man in the backfield. And the handoff does go to Buchanan. He's going to run right back up the middle, and about 2 yards on the play for DJ Buchanan. DJ Buchanan's the bulk of the carries tonight. That's his 9th touch so far, and he's up to 60 yards on 9 carries and 2 touchdowns. The other Central touchdowns have come through Daniel Marler on a short 13-yard run and an Austin Caldwell 36-yard touchdown reception. And Central is going to stay in that jumbo formation. DJ Buchanan is the deep man in the backfield. Curtois under center. The handoff does go to Buchanan. He's going to bounce it out to the left side. And Fredericktown ready for that one. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. DJ Buchanan trying to find the end zone. Just can't quite get there on this offensive possession. 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. And it's 4th down and 5 for Central. And they're going to send Jake Bridges out to try and knock this field goal through. He kicked an extra point in the first quarter that was longer than this field goal, and it went up and through no problem. This is going to be his first field goal of the game. And Braden Mannion's going to be your holder as the right-footed kicker Jake Bridges lines up, snaps down. Kick is pushed off to the right side. It's no good. And that puts us still at 27-0 Central all over the Fredericktown Blackcats as the offense takes the field. We'll thank a few of our sponsors, Midwest Sports Center in Farmington, Powell Automotive in Park Hills, and Leadbelt Pump and Supply also in Park Hills. So far, the Central defense really has been what they're advertised as. They've been great so far as stopping the run, stopping the pass, for 3 turnovers so far. 3 takeaways, all coming with 5:27 to go in the first half. Fredericktown is really in a tough situation right now. Their offense has to get something going now, and it has to come on this offensive drive with not much time remaining here in the first half. Spangler's going to go under center. He's going to have Patrick Smothers as the lone receiver off to the left side. The handoff goes to Roberts in the backfield. Roberts hurdles the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get 1 yard on the play. Reed Roberts has been held to carries of 1 yard, 5 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 1 yard, and 1 yard. The Central defense has really shut down the Fredericktown offense as much as you can shut them down without getting negative yardage. Central a 27-0 lead in the first half. It's round 2 of the district playoffs, and you're hearing it and seeing it on J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com. Fredericktown staying in the huddle a while, this one trying to get their bearings as they're going to come out to the line of scrimmage and hope for the best as they're going to send 2 receivers off to the right side. It's going to be Tyler Reed and Chris Harwood as the 2 receivers out to the right. Carver and Roberts in the backfield, and Roberts the deep man as Spangler bends under center for the Fredericktown offense. Harwood goes in motion. Spangler's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to throw over the top, and the pass hits off the hands of Nathan Blaine, incomplete. And Fredericktown in a really tough situation once again. And it's been all Central here in the first half. As personnel changes are taking place, it's going to be 3rd down and 7. Ball on the 23-yard lines, under 5 minutes to go in the first half. And so far it's been Central. Fredericktown's going to line up with 1 receiver off to the right, and it's Tyler Reed. 2 men in the backfield. Roberts, the deep man, goes in motion out to the left. Spangler is going to hand it off to the fullback, and he breaks through, gets a first down, gets brought down at the 40-yard line, and a big breakthrough play by Chris Philly for the Fredericktown Blackcats. After a 3rd down and 7, they get a good chunk of yards to get them a first down. And Chris Philly coming up with a big play for the Fredericktown Blackcats, able to get him a fresh set of downs. Ball was on the 23-yard line, a 16-yard run for Chris Philly, moves it up to the 39, and a fresh set of downs for the Fredericktown Blackcats, looking to get on the board before the end of this first half. 4.5 minutes to get there as Central's up 27-0. Spangler goes back under center. He's going to have 2 receivers off to the left. One of them goes in motion. And Spangler's dropping back to pass. And it's intercepted. Oh, buddy. A big pick by Austin Caldwell running up the left sideline. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds just shy of the 20. That's the 3rd interception of Drake Spangler by this defense of the Central Rebels. And that time, Austin Caldwell coming up and getting the interception. That's Caldwell's first interception so far. And that's the 3rd interception thrown by Drake Spangler. And that's going to set Central up with another offensive drive starting in Fredericktown territory. This time they're going to start on the Fredericktown 18-yard line. They're going to line up with their first offensive snap of this possession already in the red zone. They're already up 27-0, looking to get in the end zone one more time here in the first half. The Central offense and defense really showing how they got to the second round of the district playoffs tonight. Braden Mannion, the far receiver out to the left. 2 receivers off to the right side. Curtois takes the snap out of shotgun. He's throwing to Mannion in the end zone. And I don't know if he came down with it. Both receivers had hands on it, and they are going to call it a touchdown. Braden Mannion does rip it out of the hands of Chris Philly, and that's a touchdown for the Central Rebels, and they're on the board once again. It's 33-0. The Central Rebels up in the second round of the district playoffs over the Fredericktown Black Cats. And that's another passing touchdown for Hunter Curtois, this time an 18-yard strike to Braden Mannion for a touchdown. That's Mannion's first reception of the day and Curtois' second touchdown pass of the day. He's thrown the ball 5 times, 2 completions, 2 touchdowns. And they're going to stay on for the 2-point conversion, and it looks like he's going to be stopped just short of it. And that's 33-0, 4:05 to go here in the first half. And Central up on the Fredericktown Black Cats. We'll be back with more coverage. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
Hi, this is Jamie with Pal Automotive in Park Hills. We are your full-service auto repair shop that can take care of your automotive needs. From automotive repair, brakes, AC, major engine and transmission repair, to inspections, oil changes, tires, and so much more for foreign and domestic vehicles. Here at Pal Automotive, we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and we are located on 5th Street and St. Joe Drive near Casey's and Save-A-Lot in Park Hills. Pal Automotive, we are taking care of business.
J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. Another touchdown for the Central Rebels, and they're up 33-0. The defense really making things happen for the Central Rebels. They have 3 interceptions so far in this game and 1 fumble recovery, 4 takeaways, and they've held the Fredericktown Black Cats to 34 yards of total offense so far in the game. Central set to kick. Jake Bridges, and he puts a leg into this one. It's headed towards the left sideline. It is going to be fielded by Reed Roberts at the 10-yard line. He brings it up. He's across the 20, and he's absolutely smashed just shy of the 30-yard line. Central Rebels hitting from either side, and that's where the Fredericktown Black Cats will take over for this one. And the offense is going to start on their own 28-yard line. And Fredericktown, not much time to find the end zone. There's 4 minutes to go here in the first half, and they trail 33-0. We're here at Central High School, and the Rebels lead this one. It's round 2 of the district playoffs, and Central's got a 33-0 lead in the first half. Spangler back under center for Fredericktown. He's going to roll out to his right. He pitches into the backfield to Smothers. Smothers on the end around has one man to beat, and he does not beat him. He is brought down behind the line of scrimmage by the Central Rebels. And coming up to tackle them was Logan Comfort, the 5'10", 160-pound junior for the Central Rebels, making the stop. That's going to be second down and long for the Fredericktown Black Cats. 2nd and 14, ball on the 25-yard line. And the Central Rebel defense forced another tackle for a loss. And that's minus 4 yards for Patrick Smothers on the play. That's going to drop Fredericktown to 33 yards of total offense. Fredericktown's going to stay with 2 receivers off to one side. And the ball is dropped right around the line of scrimmage. And Fredericktown does recover it. That's going to set up 3rd down and even longer. We'll see where the official spot's going to be as the referee places the ball. And that's going to set up a 3rd down and long with just under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Central in control of this one at a 33-0 advantage. All in the first half. 2 touchdown passes from Hunter Curtois, 2 touchdowns for DJ Buchanan, and 1 for Daniel Marler. The Fredericktown offense is going to spread out. 3 receivers off to Spangler's right, 1 off to the left. The 3 receivers, as you see closest to it, Smothers, Reed, and Philly. Spangler dropped back to pass, and he gets rid of this one off the left sideline. Had no receivers open, made a good decision just to get rid of it and not take the sack and push them even further back into their own zone. That's going to be 4th and 15, and Fredericktown's going to be forced to punt out of their own zone once again. Reed Roberts going to be back to kick this one away. Braden Mannion standing on the Central 46, 47-yard line back to field this punt. And Reed Roberts getting his leg a workout today as they're going to be forced to punt once again. The Central defense has shut down any facet of offense that Fredericktown has at this point in time. Reed Roberts barely gets the kick away, and it's a high kick It bounces at the 50, and it'll roll out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And the Central Rebels will come out and start this one on their own 49-yard line. Just over 2 minutes to go. They're up 33-0. We'll see what kind of offensive plan they put together with just about 2 minutes to go. If they try to find the end zone one more time, or if they just try to run the clock out. We'll see what they do on this offensive possession to find their way into the second half, or if they're going to try and find their way into the end zone. So far, the Central offense is lined up primarily in a jumbo formation. It looks like they're going to spread it out just a little bit on this offensive possession. They're going to have 3 receivers off to the left. Jake Bridges is the lone receiver off to the right. Alaric Jones, the closest receiver to you for Central. The handoff would have gone to DJ Buchanan. A whistle comes in right at the snap, and it's going to be a false start against the Central Rebels, and they'll move back 5 yards. And that's going to be first and 15 as the ball is going to move backwards to the 44-yard line, and that's where they'll take this next snap from. On that play, they were going to line up with a spread formation with trips off to the left-hand side, and they had a single receiver off to the right, and the handoff was still going to Buchanan. So it really doesn't tell you what they're trying to do. That's good play calling by Coach Corey Schweiss of the Central Rebels. And Shannon Henson's trying to line up his defense to combat whatever Schweiss can put at him. And Kurtois takes the snap out of shotgun. 3 receivers off to the left. He throws over the middle. Caught by Daniel Marlar at the 40-yard line. And that's a good pitch and catch from Kurtois to Daniel Marlar. All the way down about the 37-yard line. A 29-yard pitch and catch from Kurtois to Marlar. Marlar, first reception of the day after bobbling his first one. Kurtois is going to throw a quick screen to Alaric Jones, and he's going to be brought down just across the line of scrimmage. 2 or 3 on the play to Alaric Jones. Jones's first reception of the day for 2 yards. And the Central Rebel offense going to stay spread out. 3 receivers off to the left. And the handoff goes to Buchanan. And Buchanan cuts up the middle. He stays on his feet after being hit by one man. And he gets across to the second line of defense. And he's tripped up by the Fredericktown Black Cats. And that's a big gain on the play for DJ Buchanan. And that's going to be a first down for the Central Rebels after a 15-yard carry for DJ Buchanan. Central's going to stay with 3 receivers off to the right this time. Kurtois is going to roll out to his right. He has one man open, and it is caught, and he's going to turn it upfield and get into the end zone, and that is a touchdown, a 3rd touchdown pass from Hunter Kurtois, this time to Alaric Jones, and that's another touchdown for the Central Rebels. This time, they're using the passing game. It's a 39-0 lead for the Central Rebels. 1:15 to go here in the first half, and Fredericktown is really in a hole after that one. They're down 39-0 as the special teams unit comes on for the Central Rebels, trying to make this a 40-point ball game all in the first half for these Central Rebels. The offense is going, the defense is going, and they're showing exactly why they're in the second round of the district playoffs. Jake Bridges has been pretty efficient so far kicking the ball. He's missed 1 field goal on 1 attempt, but the extra points have been pretty efficient so far. And he knocks that one up and through. That's 40-0. The Central Rebels are up on the Fredericktown Black Cats here all in the first half. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. We'll have the conclusion of the first half in about 30 seconds. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
Walmart Supercenter in Farmington is the place to go for the best prices on all your seasonal items. You'll find a large selection of items for your vacation to that fabulous wedding, to decorating for special occasions. The friendly staff at Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, they're ready to help you find whatever you need, when you need them. Walmart Supercenter in Farmington, your all-occasion connection. That's Walmart Supercenter in Farmington. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Thank you for joining us. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We're here at Central High School, and the Rebels all over the Fredericktown Black Cats, 40-0 here in the first half. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, and Central set to kick off after a touchdown pass from Hunter Kurtois to Alaric Jones. Hunter Kurtois' 3rd touchdown pass of the day.
Number 28, Reed Roberts. Number 34, Chris Harwood.
Reed Roberts and Chris Harwood back to field this kickoff for the Fredericktown Black Cats. And Jake Bridges set to kick off for the Central Rebels. Here comes your kick. It looks like it's going to stay towards the middle of the field this time. Fielded cleanly by Harwood in the back. And he's going to be brought down at the 21-yard line. The Central Rebels, special teams not allowing much of a return for Chris Harwood as he returns it for 11 yards after fielding it at the 10. A few weeks ago when I saw the Fredericktown Black Cats, a lot of special teams errors. It looks like they've righted that this evening, but just can't get the offense going against the Central Rebel defense, but not many people have. The Rebels have allowed no more than about 14 points per game at any time in this, and they've only given up 3 per contest. Fredericktown's offense is going to try and stay spread out, and the handoff does go to Reed Roberts. Reed Roberts gets through the line of scrimmage, about 5 yards on the play for Reed Roberts. DJ Buchanan on the stop for the Central Rebels. And Fredericktown's going to stay spread out. They're going to have 2 receivers off to either side. 1 man in the backfield. It is Roberts. And Spengler's going to roll out to his left. He comes up throwing. And he threw it out too far out of bounds for Tyler Reed to reel it in. He couldn't quite get both feet in bounds, 1 foot in bounds, and even get a hand on it. And Fredericktown, only 37 seconds left to find their way into the end zone here in the first half. And it's going to be 3rd and 3. Ball sits on the 29-yard line. And the Fredericktown Black Cats in a really tough situation once again. Their offense hasn't had great field position tonight. They've been pinned back on just about every offensive possession. And they're going to stay spread out in this one. Philly comes in motion. They fake the handoff to the motion man, Philly. And right up the middle is Reed Roberts. Reed Roberts getting a good yardage on his last 2 carries. And he did get a first down on this one.
First down for Fredericktown.
There's 32.3 seconds to be quite precise here in the first half. It's a 40-0 lead for the Central Rebels, and the Fredericktown Black Cats just got their first down. They're going to have a fresh set of downs. Not much time to go before them to find the end zone. Fredericktown stays spread out. Spengler rolls out to his left. He comes up throwing, and the pass was intended for Chris Philly, but Philly and Spengler look like they had a little bit of miscommunication on the route. That's going to be 2nd and 10 as the ball is on the 35-yard line. The Fredericktown Black Cats looking to get in the end zone before the end of the first half. Not much time to get there. And the Central defense hasn't allowed them to break across the Central 45-yard line in this contest. Fredericktown's going to stay spread out. 2 receivers off to either side. Reed Roberts, the lone man in the backfield. Philly in motion from left to right. Handoff does go to the motion man, Philly. Philly's going to cut it off to the right side. A big block bounced into Philly, allowed him to stay on his feet after he gets 5 yards on the play. Chris Philly, 21 yards on 2 carries so far in this game. The Fredericktown offense starting to get things going. And there's only 3 seconds in the first half. There's a timeout by the Fredericktown Black Cats. And we'll thank some of our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Goggins Drilling in Park Hills, Covenant Care Services in Fredericktown, and Buckley Towing in Park Hills. Thank you for making this Web TV broadcast possible. And we're broadcasting round 2 of the district playoffs. And you're hearing it and seeing it on J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. And right now, this contest is all Central Rebels as they're up 40-0, 3 seconds to go. And that's not a whole lot of time left for the Fredericktown Black Cats to get on the board here in the first half. And Central so far has forced 4 turnovers in this game. And that's really what's shut down the Fredericktown offense. There hasn't been much going on or much doing for the Fredericktown offense as this defense of the Central Rebels is showing why they're so feared. Expect Fredericktown to try and heave one towards the end zone on this play. Spengler's going to come out of shotgun. He's going to have 4 receivers run deep, and he just lobs one to Reed Roberts out of the backfield, and that's going to conclude your first half. And right now, it's a 40-0 lead for the Central Rebels here in the first half. It's all halftime here, and the Central Rebels up big 40-0 5 touchdowns and 4 takeaways for the Central Rebels so far in this contest. And that's going to be halftime. And we're back. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We're here in Park Hills at Central High School, and the Central Rebels are leading this round 2 game of the district playoffs. They're up 40-0 over the Fredericktown Black Cats, and a lot of that set up by the Central defense. They forced 4 takeaways in the first half, all setting up great field position within Fredericktown territory to start those drives after the 4 takeaways, and all 4 converted in touchdowns. Getting ready for the second half kickoff here. As you can see, the 2 teams taking the field. That's Fredericktown on the left side of your screen. Black helmets, white jerseys, black pants, and the Central Rebels lined up to the right, and the red helmets, navy jerseys, and red pants. The Central Rebels up 40-0 in this one, and they've had DJ Buchanan, their running back, find the end zone on 2 occasions. Daniel Marler found the end zone on 1 occasion on the ground. And Hunter Curtois, 5 for 8, 104 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. 1 touchdown to Mannion, 1 to Alaric Jones, and 1 to Austin Caldwell. The one for Caldwell, a 36-yard touchdown pass set up by play action. Jake Bridges set to kick off to start your second half, and we are under a running clock with that 35-point disparity. Jake Bridges, and we are into the second half. A kick down the left sidelines, and they let it bounce, and it rolls out of bounds, and Fredericktown will start this offensive possession to open up the second half on the 35-yard line, and that's one of their better starting field positions so far in the game. They've been pinned back inside their own 20 on 3 different occasions. Only once have they broke across into Central Rebel territory, and that drive was ended by an interception, or a forced fumble, and soon after, the Central Rebels found the end zone. And that has us at 40-0, and it's the start of the second half. The Fredericktown offense looks like they're going to spread out just a little bit more than they did in the first half. Have 2 receivers off to the left side. It's Reed and Smothers. Reed closest to you, Smothers in motion. And the handoff does go right up the middle to Philly. And Philly looks like he got 5 yards on the play to open up this second half. Chris Philly, so far 3 carries and 26 yards. Not bad for Chris Philly. He's the majority. He has over 50% of the Fredericktown offense. They ended the first half with just 37 yards of total offense after being sacked and having a few plays stopped in the back. It dropped them down to 37 yards of total offense. Spangler's going to go under center on this play. Going to have the same 2 receivers out to the left side. No, it's Harwood, and the Reed was in motion. Handoff goes to Reed Roberts out of the backfield. Roberts cuts around to the right side, and he is absolutely smashed. Austin Caldwell laid the boom on Reed Roberts right at the 45-yard line, and that is going to be a first down after a 6-yard gain for Reed Roberts. Reed Roberts, 9 carries, 27 yards so far in the game. He is not doing too well, only 3 yards per carry for Roberts. We're just underway, 10:55 to go here in the third quarter, and the Fredericktown offense going to line up with 2 receivers, 1 receiver off to the left, 1 tight end on either side of the formation. Spangler going under center. Going to have Reed Roberts and Philly in the backfield. Handoff goes to Reed Roberts, and he's going to be stopped after gaining 3 or 4 on the play. Depending on the spot, he got about 3.5 yards, did Reed Roberts. That's 30 yards through 10 carries for Reed Roberts. And Fredericktown, they are in Central territory. That has been rarefied air so far for them in this contest. Spangler's going to have 2 receivers off to his right. It's Harwood and Tyler Helm. The handoff is going to go to Philly out of the backfield, and Philly's going to get a good push from his offensive line, and he got about 7 yards on that, did Chris Philly. Philly so far coming out of the backfield has been very productive. As the ball sits on the 43-yard line, it's going to be a 3rd down and 1 yard to go for a first down for the Fredericktown Black Cats. And the offense looking much improved here to start the second half, marching down the field. Spangler will have two receivers off to his right. The closest that you see on your screen is Patrick Smothers. Reed Roberts, the dirty jersey in the backfield, fakes off to the side, and the run gets around to the left side, and that's Chris Philly for a first down, and he's going to get 8 yards on the play is Chris Philly. Stopped by the Central Rebel, Alaric Jones, who has caught 1 touchdown pass so far, did Alaric Jones. And the Fredericktown Black Hat offense is finally starting to get things going. And what gets us going here for J98 Web TV is Big River Broadband, powered by Big River Broadband, 1-855-55-GO-BIG. Fredericktown's going to line up with 2 receivers off to the right. Reed Roberts takes the handoff in the backfield, and he's going to get 5 yards on the play for Reed Roberts. This offense looks much improved coming into this half. And they're marching down the field on this Central defense. This Central defense does not give up many points. And Fredericktown looking like they're going to march down the field on this drive. Right now, it's 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 34-yard line, 8:25 to go. We do have a running clock here in the third quarter. Running clock is activated after a 35-point lead by one team, and Central's up 40-0 in this contest. The motion man there is Tyler Reed. The handoff, the snap is bobbled by Drake Spangler. He does fall on it. He's going to lose 2 on the play, and that's going to be -2 rushing for Spangler. Spangler's had some difficulties with the ball tonight with the cold temperature. I wonder if that's been an effect for him. It's going to be 3rd down, 7 yards to go. We do have the running clock. It's going to keep ticking through the rest of the game. We got 7:49, and Fredericktown is going to have Spangler go under center with 2 men in the backfield. It's Philly and Roberts. Motion man is Harwood. Tyler Reed, the other receiver. Philly goes right up the middle, and that's another 5-yard gain for Chris Philly. Philly's moving the ball quite well. He's going to be short of the first down, about 2 or 3 yards shy of it. And Fredericktown's offense is marching. It's 4th down and 2 yards to go. They're going to keep the offense on the field. This is a big play for the Fredericktown offense. They've got to get 2 yards to keep hope alive in this contest. They have 2 receivers off to the right side. Chris Philly in the backfield. Reed Roberts, Tyler Reed, the motion man. Handoff goes to Reed Roberts. It's a pitch off to the right side, and I don't think he got it. Looks like he's going to be short of it, and he is short of it. That's going to be a turnover on downs. The Central Rebels stopped the Fredericktown Black Hats from finding their way into the end zone once again, and Central's going to take over on their own 30-yard line. The ref sets a new football down, trying to rotate them out with the sloppy field conditions that they do have here tonight. It's a grass field here at Central High School, and if you can see, some of the sidelines are just nothing but muck so far in this game. It's been quite sloppy. And Curtois is going to go under center. He's going to have 3 men in the backfield behind him. And the handoff goes off to the right side, and not much to it for the Central Rebels, as they're going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage after a short carry for number 33, Logan Comfort, for the Central Rebels. Down to 6 minutes here in the third quarter. It's 2nd down and 9, ball on the 31-yard line. A 40-0 lead for the Central Rebels here in the third quarter. It's round 2 of the district playoffs, and Central's in control of this one. Curtois going to go back under center, 3 men in the backfield behind him, and a flag comes in right at the snap. A few times that's happened in this game, and it's been against Central, and that will be against Central once again, and they're going to be moving 5 yards back after that one. Curtois sticks his hand in his hand warmer, and that just tells you the cold tonight is making a difference for these athletes on the field. It's going to make it tough to hang on to the ball, tough to even complete a pass, let alone throw a pass, and hang on to the ball when hit. But so far, no turnovers for the Central offense and 4 takeaways for the Central defense. Curtois back under center, 3 men in the backfield behind him. He's going to take the snap, and the handoff is going to go right up to the left side behind the left guard. And not much there for the Central offense, as number 57, the Fredericktown Black Hat, Brian Fingers, comes up with the stop, and he stays down on the field. He is writhing in pain, and the coaching staff is coming out to the Fredericktown Black Hats head coach, Shannon Henson, coming out to see if his player's okay. He's currently down on the field right now. The Fredericktown Black Hat that is down, it's Brian Fingers. He came up and made the tackle on the ball carrier. And right now he's staying down. While he stays down, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll have more coming up here on J98 Web TV. It's MyMoInfo.com.
Don't let an unfortunate sports injury keep you on the sidelines. Get back in the game with chiropractor and board-certified chiropractic sports physician, Dr. Jeff Huck at Huck Chiropractic in Deloge. If you've never tried chiropractic care before, you'll be amazed at the results. Dr. Huck would like to wish all the area teams the best of luck this season. Give Dr. Huck a call at Huck Chiropractic Center, 518-0608. Huck Chiropractic, located on North Deloge Drive, just up from Casey's in Deloge.
It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We just took a quick break because Fredericktown Black Cat, number 57, Brian Fingers, went down after tackling the ball carrier. And as you can see, he's being helped off of the field by the coaching staff. And he is walking off of the field, but he is being assisted by the Fredericktown coaching staff. Right now, the Central offense is going to come back to the line of scrimmage. They're in a 3rd down and 12. They haven't seen much of this for their offense today. Curtois bends under center with 3 men in the backfield behind him. The pitch goes off to number 22 for the Central Rebels, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And carrying that was Grant Hopkins, the 6'1", 190-pound senior for the Central Rebels, and that's going to set up a 4th down and long, and that's going to bring the punt team out for the Central Rebels. And Jake Bridges is going to be back to punt this one away. And Patrick Smothers, the Fredericktown Black Cat, lined up at about the 35-yard line as he backpedals waiting for the punt. Last-minute substitutions for the Central Rebels as number 60, Dakota Pope, the 6', 210-pound junior, comes out on the field late. Jake Bridges gets the punt away. It's a nice kick. It's going to take a bounce, a Central bounce at the 40-yard line, and it's going to be down at about the 33-yard line, and that's where the Fredericktown Black Hat offense will come back out onto the field. And you just saw a moment ago Brian Fingers, number 57, go down for the Fredericktown Black Hats. He's actually their right tackle as well as playing on the defensive line. So they're going to have a substitution come in, and they're going to have a new right tackle. And right now, I don't see Fingers back out onto the field just yet. He's still on the sidelines. And no, he's not into the lineup right now. It's going to be 58, Dalton King, switching to the left side now, as Spangler goes under center, and the handoff is fake to Reed Roberts, and Philly spins off one man. An amazing spin move by Chris Philly, getting across the line of scrimmage. A 6-yard gain for Chris Philly, and he is quietly putting a nice running total together for himself in the second half. After the Fredericktown offense wasn't moving the ball very well in the first half, the run game is really starting to move the ball. They were shut down on their last offensive possession at the 35-yard line after the run game was shut down by the Central defense. Spangler's going to go back under center. Reed Roberts, the man in the backfield. The handoff is fake to Philly. Does go to Roberts. He cuts off, bounces out to the right, and he's going to be brought down by Jake Bridges. Jake Bridges, not only does he kick, but he can tackle as well, and that was him making the stop of Reed Roberts after Reed Roberts gets a gain of 2 on the play. The Fredericktown offense has really had problems getting going. It looks like a few halftime adjustments by Coach Shannon Henson has allowed the offense to kind of move the ball a little bit more than they were in the first half. We're down to 2:27 here in the third quarter. It's a 40-0 lead for the Central Rebels over the Fredericktown Black Cats as Drake Spangler goes back under center for the Fredericktown Black Cats. One receiver off to either side. Tyler Reed and Patrick Smothers, the two receivers. Handoff goes right up the middle to Chris Philly, and Philly going to be a little bit short of the first down depending on the spot. From my vantage point, I'm lined up on the 45-yard line of Central Rebels, and they are going to move the chains. They're going to award him the first down after a 2-yard gain for Chris Philly. And that's a fresh set of downs for the Fredericktown Black Cats. The ball currently sits on the 44-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10. And right now, both receivers for the Fredericktown Black Cats head to the sidelines, and they're going to have Chris Harwood as the far receiver, and then number 15, Christian Parsley as your close receiver here. And the handoff is fake to Philly, goes to Roberts off the left-hand side. He's going to bounce it outside, and he's going to get a gain of 2 for Reed Roberts. 2 more yards for Reed Roberts on the day. And he's up to 39 yards on 13 carries. He's still being held to a 3-yard average. He came into the game averaging just under 5 per carry. And right now he's being held in check by the Central defense. Drake Spangler is going to go back under center, 2 men in the backfield behind him. Christian Parsley and Patrick Smothers, the 2 receivers. Smothers in motion. Handoff goes to Philly, and there's a flag coming in. It looked like it was an illegal motion. It was a false start indeed for the Fredericktown Black Cats. That's going to back them up 5 yards, and that's going to put them in a tough situation once again for the Fredericktown offense, as the ball is going to be moved back to the 40-yard line. The Fredericktown 40-yard line. And Smothers leaving the field once again for the Fredericktown Black Cats, as they've been rotating receivers here in the second half. And they're going to keep with that theme. They're going to have the farthest on your screen is Tyler Reed, then Chris Harwood just inside in the slot. Drake Spangler back under center. Reed Roberts, the motion man. Spangler is going to drop back looking to pass. He does get the pass away just barely to Chris Philly. Chris Philly's not going to get much onto that one. He's going to get right back to the original line of scrimmage. Drake Spangler not really getting the passing game going for a whole lot today. That's Reed Roberts' second reception for 7 yards so far in the contest. Fredericktown doesn't come into the contest with much of a passing game that they do utilize. They're more of a run-heavy team lining up in that power I formation. And Central's defense was ready, and they've held it in check most of this game. And the Fredericktown Black Cats are going to go in the same formation. 2 receivers to Spangler's right. Spangler's going to roll out to his right. He's got time to get rid of it. There's pressure late, and I don't know if it was caught. And yes, it was. It was reeled in late, and that was number 81, Nathan Blaine, the tight end, coming up with the reception. And that's not enough yards for a first down for the Fredericktown Black Cats. And that's the end of the third quarter. Why we have the 2 teams switch sides. Not much switching to do, but we'll take a quick timeout ourselves. More coverage coming up. It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com.
When you need to install a garage door, Premier Door Company of Fredericktown is willing and ready. Or if you just need to repair an existing door, Premier Door Company will do that too. They can install or repair garage doors for residential or commercial buildings. Premier Door Company will put in electric openers, spring replacements, and service or repair all doors in all surrounding counties. For quality and experience in installing and repairing garage doors, call Premier Door Company, the garage door people, at 783-7775 or www.premierdoorcompany.com. Walmart Supercenter of Deloge is a great place to get everything you need for the upcoming holiday season. They stock it all and at prices your family can afford. In fact, shop each department: clothing and accessories, bakery and deli, hardware and housewares, photo lab and electronics, and a whole lot more. And remember, all your snacks for the football games. Happy holidays from Walmart Supercenter in Deloge. Save money, live better, Walmart.
It's J98 Web TV on MyMoInfo.com. We're here at Central High School, and the Rebels all over the Fredericktown Black Cats, and this one is a 40-0 ball game. And Fredericktown on to punt right now. They mess up on the snap, and Brock O'Neill falls on it, and is going to be bobbled once again. And Central's going to take over with another great starting field position. This time they're going to start on the Fredericktown 30-yard line, and it's 40-0. Central Rebels all over the Fredericktown Black Cats. A running clock is in effect right now. It's 11:37 and ticking away here in the fourth quarter, and Central in control. It's round 2 of the district playoffs, and Central is in control of this one. Their offense is going to come back out on the field. They're going to start this drive on the 30-yard line, and more great starting field position for this Central Rebel offense. That's put the Fredericktown defense in a bind all game long. They've been getting great starting field position one after another. And Hunter Kurtois is going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it off to the deep man in the backfield. Going to get right back to the line of scrimmage. Not much on the play, if any, at all. And it was number 28, Grant Hopkins, on the carry for the Central Rebels. Getting everybody in on the action tonight for the Central Rebels. A couple of scores from around the area. In Class 3 District 1, Potosi is losing to St. Genevieve. St. Genevieve on top 32-15. And in Class 4 District 1, Hillsboro up on North County 34-7, and Cape Central a 41-14 lead over Festus. I'll give you more scores after this play as Hunter Kurtois bends under center, and the handoff is going to go back to Hopkins. Hopkins going to go right up the middle, a few yards on the play, and he's going to get across the 30-yard line. And the Central offense rotating in backs now. Just about 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 40-0 lead for the Central Rebels over the Fredericktown Black Cats. A few other scores from around the area. Caruthersville, a 12-6 lead over St. Pius, and Valley Catholic, 35-0 over Portageville. Give you updates as we get more scores. Right now, it's the Central offense moving the ball down the field. Jake Bridges now at quarterback. Grant Hopkins spelling DJ Buchanan. And they fake the handoff to Hopkins, and it's going to be handed off to number 21, and he's going to run on the end around, Kyle Schwantner, and he gets around the left side. And there's a Central Rebel that's slow to get up across the way. And it's Spencer Jones, 6'1", 180-pound tight end. He's a senior, slow to get up after that play, but he's headed back to the huddle. Jake Bridges headed to the sidelines to talk to Coach Swice to get a play. It's 4th down and 6 for the Central Rebels. Got to get 6 yards or the Fredericktown offense will take over after this play. Central's offense starting to rotate their backups in. Grant Hopkins at the fullback position. And Jake Bridges going to fake the handoff, roll out to his right. He's got one man headed to the end zone. He lobs it towards the end zone. And I don't know if he just made that catch. It looked like he had 1 foot on the sideline. And they're going to say that he did not. They are going to spot it up further forward. An amazing catch on the right sidelines. It was Gabe Craig that reeled that one in right around the 2-yard line. They're going to spot it on the 3-yard line, about the 2.5-yard line. It's going to be 1st down and goal to go on the 3 for the Central Rebels. 8:24 and counting with the running clock here in the fourth quarter as Central's up in this one by 40 points. And so far have not allowed a touchdown in this game. Jake Bridges is going to stay in at quarterback. Grant Hopkins as your halfback. And then number 33, Logan Comfort in the fullback position. Jake Bridges is going to hand off to Hopkins. They run into each other. Hopkins going to bounce it outside. Anyhow, touchdown Grant Hopkins. And Central puts 6 more on the board. It's a 46-0 lead for the Central Rebels here at Central High School. And the Fredericktown Black Cats are deep, deep in a hole. A 46-0 hole. And it's 8 minutes to go exactly in the fourth quarter. The running clock is in effect. But the clock is stopped, waiting for the ball to be spotted for the extra point. As Central puts 6 more on the boards, this time with Grant Hopkins finding the end zone for the Central Rebels on a 3-yard scamper getting into the end zone. And that's going to be the 4th different person that's come out of the backfield with the football for the Central Rebels, and this time a 3-yard touchdown run. The kick goes up and through for your extra point, and that's 47-0. Central Rebels lead this contest. Well, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll have the conclusion of your fourth quarter coming up. It's J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
Kerry Buckley Towing and Recovery in Park Hills at 431-2117 or 756-4563 offers 24-hour towing and wrecker service. Kerry Buckley and his employees pride themselves on providing quick and reliable towing, winching, lockouts, jump starts, and roadside service for cars and trucks, as well as towing and wreck recovery for tractor trailers. From big to small, Kerry Buckley Towing and Recovery does it all. Call 431-2117 or 756-4563 for dependable 24-hour service from Kerry Buckley Towing.
It's J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com. We're at Central High School. It's round 2 of the district playoffs, and the Central Rebels just found the end zone one more time in this game. It was a 3-yard touchdown run by Grant Hopkins, and the Central Rebels lead this one 47-0. We do have a running clock in effect, as the running clock does take effect with a 35-point lead by one team or the other, and Central up 47-0 in this contest after putting in 7 more with Grant Hopkins and Jake Bridges on the extra point. Bridges here to kick off, kicking from the left to the right. Fredericktown Black Cats back to field this one. Patrick Smothers is going to take it off the bounce, hits him in the face mask. He does field it after the bounce, and he's going to be brought down at right around the 25-yard line. First man to him, Brandon Mayberry, 6'2", 185-pound junior for the Central Rebels, making the stop. Fredericktown's offense will come out, and they'll start this offensive possession on the 25-yard line. The running clock is in effect. We're under 7.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 47-0 lead for the Rebels at home. They're up on the Fredericktown Black Cats. Fredericktown's offense been held in check the majority of this game. They started moving the ball a little better in the second half, and Spangler's going to go back under center for the Black Cats. Pitch off to Roberts in the backfield. He's going to bounce out to the right side and be brought down in the backfield. A loss of 4 on the play for Reed Roberts. Reed Roberts has been held in check in this game. 14 carries, 35 yards. He's absolutely been shut down by the Central defense. The Central defense, I haven't seen them since week 2, but they are as good as advertised. They came into this contest only allowing 2.7 points per game. Yes, that's less than a field goal per game, and right now they're on pace for a better average than that. They have not allowed the Fredericktown Black Cats into the red zone in this game. Fredericktown's going to line up with 2 receivers off to the left side, Tyler Reed and Harwood. The handoff goes right up the middle to Chris Philly for a short gain on the play. Chris Philly has been the lone bright spot here in the second half for the Fredericktown Black Cats. He doesn't get much on that play, but so far he's got 9 carries for 43 yards, all primarily coming into this second half. He only had 1 carry in the first half, and that was for 16 yards. And so far, the Central defense hasn't allowed Fredericktown to do much of anything on the offensive side of the ball. Fredericktown's going to line up with Drake Spangler under center, 2 men in the backfield behind him, 2 receivers off to the left, Reed and Smothers. And Spangler's going to draw back, look to his left. He is going to throw across the middle, and it's picked off at, the Central defense picked off by Braden Manning. He's going to cut it up to the left-hand side, and he's brought down just shy of the 10-yard line. The 5th takeaway for the Central defense, and that's an interception by Braden Mannion, coming up with an interception at the 30-yard line, running it back 19 yards, hitting it to the 11-yard line. That is the 4th interception thrown by Drake Spangler today. That's Braden Mannion's first interception of the day. And Austin Caldwell has 1, and Kyle Schwantner for the Central Rebels has 2, and they also have 1 fumble recovery by Austin Caldwell as well. And that fumble was by Brock O'Neill, and it took place on the 5-yard line, and that allowed the Central Rebels to find the end zone. Every turnover so far in this game for the Central Rebels has turned into a touchdown. We'll see if they can do the same here as Jake Bridges takes the handoff, and it goes right up the middle for the Central Rebels. And getting the carry was Keenan Johnson for the Central Rebels. Yet another running back for the Central Rebels. That's going to be their 5th person touching the ball. And he's going to go right up the middle for a few yards on the play. And we're down under 5 minutes to go. It's 2nd down and 5, ball on the 10-yard line. We are in the fourth quarter, 4:19 and counting in the go in the fourth with a running clock in effect. It's a 47-0 lead for the Central Rebels, and they're trying to get into the end zone one more time. They're on the 10-yard line, and the handoff goes right back up the middle once again. Logan Comfort on the carry for the Central Rebels, going right up the middle. And yet another ball carrier for these Central Rebels. That's 6th ball carrier for the Central Rebels, and that's going to set up 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Ball on the 7-yard line. There is room for a first down for this Central offense. They're up 47-0 with the running clock in effect. We're at 3:33 and counting as the Central offense is going to head back to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to line up with 1 receiver out to the right side, Jake Bridges under center. And he's going to hand off to number 28, Grant Hopkins. And he's going to bounce out to the left side. He spins off 1 man and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Rebels. It's a 53-0 lead, and that's another touchdown. Grant Hopkins finds the end zone one more time. He's only touched the ball on 2 occasions and 2 times into the end zone. This time, a short scamper into the end zone. Grant Hopkins, 6 more on the board for the Central Rebels. And it looks like the special teams unit's going to come out onto the field and try to make it a 54-point ball game for the Central Rebels. And it's been tough going for Fredericktown in this game, and Central's second team not making it any easier as Jake Bridges is going to come on and try and knock this extra point through. He's been playing quarterback for much of the fourth quarter. Braden Mannion going to be his holder as you see Bridges hold the tee down, getting ready for this kick. Right now it's a 53-point ball game, and Central trying to make it 54. The kick is up. Kick's no good off to the left side. It's 53-0. Central all over the Fredericktown Black Cats in this one. It's the second round of the district playoffs. Why we have a timeout? We'll take one ourselves, and we'll be back with more coverage. It's J98 Web TV on MIMOinfo.com.
Your car always seems to break down at the worst possible time. When you're broke down, give Henry Nash of Nash Automotive in Park Hills a call at 431-1299. He'll give you a free estimate so you'll know what to expect. Nash Automotive offers all basic mechanical work, including tune-ups, work on motors, and four-wheel drives. If your car is broken, call Henry Nash and Nash Automotive at 431-1299 on South Front Street in Park Hills next to Casey's.
Dwight Harrington of Leadbell Pump and Supply has been serving St. Francis and the surrounding counties for several decades. Leadbell Pump and Supply can provide you with free estimates on well drilling and pump installation today. In addition, they also do repairs and service work, and they provide trenching and electric services. For your entire pump supply needs and more, stop in Leadbell Pump and Supply on East Elvin Street in Park Hills or call 431-2476.
Just in time, Jake Bridges is back for the kickoff, and he's going to kick this one down to the left side. Didn't go out of bounds this time, and it is going to be fielded by Patrick Smothers. He's trying to cut back upfield. He's got 2 men to beat. He does not beat the one, and he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. First man to get hands on him is DJ Buchanan, number 12 for the Central Rebels. If he beats DJ Buchanan, he might still be running, but DJ Buchanan coming up with a sure tackle, and the Central Rebels defense and special teams, great tackling this evening, and they're really showing exactly why they're that touted defense that everybody's been so afraid of this season. 2:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Running clock is in effect. It's a 53-0 lead for the Central Rebels. First down and 10 on the 25 for the Fredericktown offense. Drake Spangler is going to go back under center, and he's going to have 2 men in the backfield behind him, Carver and Philly, and off to the right side, 2 receivers, and the handoff's going to go right up the middle to Carver, and not much for Carver on the play. It's a 53-0 lead for the Central Rebels over the Fredericktown Black Cats in round 2 of the district playoffs. And right now, Central looks like they're going to be moving on to the 3rd round. It would take an unbelievable set of events for Fredericktown to pull this one off, and I don't think there's enough time for it to take place. We're just waiting for time to run out. We're under 2 minutes as Fredericktown's offense lines up, and they do pitch off to Chris Philly out of the backfield. Philly's going to roll out to the left, and he's going to be leveled. He was wrapped up by one Central Rebel, and then came up and finished him off was Drew Harlow, 6 foot, 185-pound linebacker. He's just a sophomore, so he's going to have a few more years to come here for this Central Rebel defense, and that was a big tackle for him right there. Just a minute and a half to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 53-0 lead for the Central Rebels over the Fredericktown Black Cats, round 2 of the district playoffs. And right now, it's looking like the Central Rebels will be moving on in this one. After this play, I'll update you on some scores from around the area as Spangler bends under center and takes the handoff, hands it off to Chris Philly. And Philly's going to lunge forward for maybe 2 yards on the play for Chris Philly. Chris Philly has had 9 carries, all coming in the second half. A few scores from around the area. St. Genevieve up over Potosi, 39-15. Central, a 53-0 lead here in Central. Hillsborough over North County, 34-13. And Cape Central over Festus, 49-14. 21-6 lead for Caruthersville over St. Pius as Spangler pitches off to Chris Philly on the right-hand side, and Philly bounces out for a couple yards on the play. Valley Catholic has a 42-0 lead over Portageville. That's all your up-to-date scores, and you can find all those scores. Just head to MIMOinfo.com. We're down to 14 seconds and counting, and that's going to be another win for the Central Rebels. Undefeated so far on the season. They'll move on to round 3, and it looks like they're going to be battling St. Genevieve in the next round. Right now, it's a 53-0 lead, and there's the zeros on the board, and Central wins this one 53-0, and they'll be moving on to round 3 of the district playoffs.